Most of the time, we have each other's back, I think, as well.
I don't think so.
Oh, brother. Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a reaction video to the Jubilee Middle Ground with a bunch of Black people. I'm gonna be doing the second half because unfortunately I filmed the first half and the footage is gone.
OnlyFans and hookup culture have ruined modern dating.
I would say that
I don't think those have helped modern dating. However, I don't think that's the reason modern dating is where it's at. I mean more so for OnlyFans. I don't think OnlyFans has as much weight on modern dating as hookup culture. So I feel like those kind of should have been separated. I just feel like modern dating, it's like, it's a mess for a lot of reasons, and it's hard to put my finger on what's the big bad wolf. Because like you could say like hookup culture, but at the same time, like to a certain degree, people are gonna do what they want to do. So if people want to go out there and get, I don't even know, 10 bodies in a week, like you're gonna do what you want to do. So I don't think that's a positive on dating in general, but I don't know that that's the big issue. It's social media, y'all. It's social media, that's always the problem.
has really completely destroyed dating and relationships. It's really sad, but it has definitely watered down a lot of things too. I'm seeing that, women are they're waiting to turn 18 and then hopping on OnlyFans, that's really just a reflection of how the culture is. I think it shows a really bad reflection on how the culture is, and it's really sad in my personal opinion. I think it's disgusting.
My last long-term relationship, which is also why I've been single as long as I have been, he was subscribing to OnlyFans girl. It's like, that's a whole thing. And it's not counted as cheating in a lot of men's eyes because you're not physically touching anybody. But you might as well be. It's a fantasy. Unfortunately, one of the first things I do when I go on a first date, I am gonna look at who you're following. Because on Instagram, it's public. If I see a guy is following all these like big booty Latina, ass, he got a problem, shut it down.
You're not supposed to have this much access to these sexual...
It's true. I feel like whatever, we're so invested in social media now. Social media, it's also very telling. So if you're on social media and it's all you following is XXX and 18 plus and check the bio, babe, I'm gonna have to clock that too. Like I'm just gonna have to clock it,
Women in general, in a relationship, it's really hard when you have so much access, easy access to link and meet up with the people who do OnlyFans, who are on Instagram showing ass. And I do want to kind of side with men on this. I don't have a problem with men liking other women's pictures and following women on Instagram solely. I'm in a relationship. Finding that common ground is important, but I just feel like, no, I'm not going to make you unfollow all these women from social media because you have to be strong whether you see them in person or you see them on the streets.
Do you guys think you could?
No, never mind. I'm not saying I am, but like, yes, obviously you have to be strong, woo-woo, because it's gonna be out there, but at the same time, I don't understand why you're going out of your way to make that your feed. Like the people you follow is the people you're choosing to be feed. You press follow, you're basically saying, whatever you're doing, whatever you're posting, that's what I wanna see. So if you're following, no, like don't play with me. If you're following 30 fine girls just based off the fact that they're fine, like I don't think you're eating on that. Like, I don't like that.
Date someone who has, for you guys as well, do you think you could date someone who has OnlyFans and like is successful?
What do they do?
I don't know. Okay, let's start off with they just post pictures. They don't have sex with anyone.
What kind of pictures?
Naked pictures.
No.
Feet pictures. Okay, feet pictures. That's cool.
If you're posting some foot pictures, whatever, man, go get it.
Because we're talking about OnlyFans from the subscriber perspective. I always wonder, what if you met someone who you're like, she's really cool, great personality, very attractive, but her job is OnlyFans.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
Why do you think so?
Look at her character.
Okay, here we go. It's not, I don't think it's that. I just feel like you need to know your temperament and you need to know the type of person you are. I know my temperament. I know my perception on like relationships and like how much I feel like you need to be given to the public and how I feel like you should be interacting with the public. And me personally, I wouldn't like that at all. However, I don't think you have a bad character because you have OnlyFans and you're like, no, it's just not my cup of tea and never will be my cup of tea. And I'm not gonna sit here and play myself and suffer in silence in a relationship because, oh, he was great, but he had OnlyFans. No, girl. No, girl, that's not my story.
You don't think she's gonna not cheat on you?
I don't think
$1 million
it means
subscriber.
I don't
Major red
I
flag.
got you a Rolls Royce.
Major red flag.
not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily mean though if you're an OnlyFans creator that you would cheat. It depends. It's all circumstantial, and it's like it depends. If she's sleeping with other people, I'm still talking. If she's sleeping with other people, I mean, yeah, then she's sleeping with other people on camera. But most of the OnlyFans creators that I've heard about, all their content is by themselves. So I don't think it directly means being an OnlyFans creator would mean you're going to cheat.
In the sense of someone who's posting pictures, she may not have just had someone in her life tell her like, hey, you should want to keep that for yourself.
Would she
and
listen? Would she listen to that?
Can you stop interrupting? Can someone finish a point without you interrupting?
She listen. I mean, I grew up hearing that. I'm not on OnlyFans. And we're speaking about me, but I'm just saying in general, some women who are in the sex culture, who are in pornography, there's the disconnect between self and
I know a lot of
sexuality.
women in that culture.
Do you think that feminism?
First of all, how do you know which women in OnlyFans? Like, oh, okay. Second of all, I think that for a long time, like, morality has been pretty set and pretty general, but listen, we are living on a big planet, a big wide world. There are so many different people. I think some people view themselves and their bodies and sex so differently from how you view it. You view it as it's personal, it's sacred, it's whatever. Some people view it as it's a handshake. To each their own. To each their own, girl. Like, the truth is, like, everybody's different. Everybody has different like thought processes and relationships with these things. So like, I'm not just gonna sit here and be like, no, you have to view your body the way I view my body. You literally don't. Like, you're an adult, you can do what you want. God. Like, I don't know, you know.
Played a role in any of this?
I mean, the liberation.
In that culture.
Do you think that feminism played a role in any of this?
I mean, the liberation of like free choice, do what you want.
Get back
Shit,
at
face
men.
repercussion. I mean, I wouldn't say get back at men per se, but I think it's.
But that's dangerous to say that's what feminism
not
is
about
about, and where it stems
Pretty much is today. It's pretty much, they just want to be able to do whatever they want and have no consequences to their actions.
I think that's an umbrella.
Okay. First of all, I feel like we need a real strict definition for feminism, and I need like 3 faces of feminism, whatever, people speak in modern, whatever, that can represent that, because I feel like people just say feminism and you're saying, oh, I'm saying feminism, oh, women hate men. No, that's not the same. Oh, I'm saying feminism, oh, women want to be outside and just opening their legs, doing whatever. No, like, so if you're speaking about feminism but you're just speaking about some archetype, some trope, like, that's disingenuous. So I don't know what to do with that, girl. I just don't.
I feel like you cite a lot of things too that don't really have backing as well, and you make a lot of broad statements.
They're true though.
I think feminism maybe played a part in it, but I don't think it's the reason why women are on OnlyFans.
I agree.
Right?
I think it played a big role.
No, it does. It does. I mean,
Women
it's
wanting independence, OnlyFans being the way
no,
out.
no, I agree. It's this whole idea that
Take
like.
their money.
Yeah. Independence, I just can't, like, I'm trying to listen, I'm trying to like open my ears, I'm trying to understand, but you're saying women wanted independence and so they're on OnlyFans. That's false. That's not genuine. Like I said, that's disingenuous. Obviously there's always people on the extremes, there's always, you know, whoop de whoop de woo, but like, women wanted independence, now they're on OnlyFans. Like, does that make sense? I'm sorry, but does that make sense? Like, women want independence. All the women that are literally working, like, in jobs, now they're on OnlyFans. I just can't, like, oh, brother.
Again, sexual revolution, capitalism, you know, it's the fastest way to make money, basically. Prostitution is the oldest profession.
I was just about to solely because you brought up prostitution, but before.
Sorry, I keep interrupting people. Oh. But seriously, y'all are talking about OnlyFans as if prostitution wasn't around way before. Prostitution and sex weren't around way before feminism and people were saying independent. They were always selling something. So I don't know, like, I'm confused.
Now, women weren't allowed to have bank accounts. If you did not have a husband or a man taking care of you, what were you left with? I don't think that it's because of feminism.
Yeah.
We have to be very careful with how we're speaking about that term. Although I know that there's a lot of controversial things about feminism, but I don't believe that OnlyFans is a result of feminism.
Yeah, I wasn't saying as a result.
That
I was saying
I
like
mean, but you low-key did say that. You said we want independent up, but okay.
it plays a majority.
Yeah,
of
But if prostitution is the oldest job in the world, then it predates, feminism. So I would say, to your point, it is because social media has become such a way to earn money quickly that then prostitution has just evolved.
I would say that's all of that. I would say
Yeah.
it's a combination of all of that, not just one or the other, but both.
I have felt more judged by black people than any other race.
I feel that people judge in different ways, and like I'm sorry if you think the black people are judging you and the white people aren't. You're in for a rude awakening when you figure out what they're texting in that group chat, what they're whispering when you turn around. Like people, I feel like people judge in different ways. Like black people are more maybe direct sometimes, but honey, if you're gonna judge, you're gonna judge. Like I don't know, you sorry.
I can say I felt more judged by black people because I grew up inner city, then I moved from the inner city to the suburbs. And so when I would come around like my black family or black friends from the inner city, they would be like, oh, you talk white, or oh, you act white, or if I say I want to go swimming today, oh, black people don't go swimming. You know, they would like make comments that would just make me feel like super like, damn, like judged.
I experienced that a lot when I first moved to Memphis from Chicago. And throughout all my life, I was always the different kid. In school, they would say you talk white, and it still continues. Like people see me, my friends back home in Memphis, they see me surfing and stuff. They see me doing things that you don't usually see black people doing, and they say you're trying to be white when really I'm just trying to explore life.
I think it comes from the stereotype that black people are uneducated. So when you sound articulate, you sound educated, they're like, damn, it sucked to be in predominantly white communities where even the black people were saying the same thing as the white people.
I definitely think it's like crabs in a barrel mentality. And it's kind of like, okay, what can we relate over? And that is the struggle within the black community. There is certain like experiences in which we find commonality or common ground.
To hold ourselves accountable within the black community would be to stop judging each other on our level of quote unquote blackness.
Yes, me too. me too. Obviously obviously I grew up in the suburbs, if you can't tell. Okay, seriously. Yes, I've got those comments about like, oh, you talk white, womp womp. Typically I just like, it just puts me off a person, and I just like don't really like pursue that relationship any further. But like sometimes it's coming from a malicious place, but sometimes it genuinely like is coming from a place of like not understanding. Because I had a friend, and like I remember she told me that she was like, oh, like when I first met you, I thought you were whitewashed because blah blah blah, and then I like asked her, I was like, why did you think that? And then literally we unpacked it together, and she was like, oh, like that makes sense, and like it just wasn't an issue. Genuinely, sometimes it's just somebody that grew up different and saw black people act a certain way, so they're seeing you act that way, so they're confused. Like I don't feel like there's always space for that. And like I said, like when I used to get it, it hurt my feelings, because I'm like, yo, what do you mean? I'm black as they come. Like you're telling me that's not me. But I think just as I've matured and as I've grown older, like some people are confused, and that's okay, because sometimes I'm confused, girl. So I can't even say nothing.
That's the majority, and we're the minority, sadly. It's like we gotta leave them on the plantation.
Yeah.
Right. Can we have the disagree step forward?
I would say that is an issue within the black community where they try to say you're not black because you sound a certain way. I think that's ridiculous. Like we're black because we're black, right? But yeah, like I tune a lot of that stuff out. It's just if I can't use it to do something that will better my life, it does not matter to me. And I think because of that, I disconnect from a lot of black women and some black people because I don't like being a victim. I cannot be a victim.
Let me ask you all a question. Are people still telling you all, you talk white, Is that an experience that y'all
Yeah.
experiencing now?
Yeah.
Right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow. I have the ability to code switch. I'll be honest. I can definitely, you know, like it's a switch for me. So I haven't had anyone say, "Oh, you talking white." You know, it's more so like you going somewhere. I've heard that my whole life from our community, and I think that in itself outlines the fact that I feel more judged by those outside of my culture, outside of our race, than inside.
Walking around in society, I'm automatically judged by people who are not black because I'm black, and they have an expectation if I'm not dressed properly, if I don't carry myself a certain way. Yeah, I think black people, we always, at least we might give each other crap for like being different, but at least I feel like we always have each other, most of the time, we have each other's back, I think, as black.
I don't think so.
Oh, brother. I think the perspective is super different when you grow up like around not a lot of black people. So like growing up around not a lot of black people already, like you're that odd one out. So when you do find black people, there's just like sense of community that you like, that's not common. So I think you like value it a little bit more, and like you can kind of like sift through it a little bit more of like, okay, like this doesn't work and like this happens, but like at least like there's this togetherness, there's this community, there's this like, you understand me, I don't have to like explain myself too deeply. But yeah, like I said, I didn't grow up around a lot of black people, so maybe on the opposite side of that coin, it's a very different experience. So.
Especially not a black man with a black woman.
You don't think so?
No.
I agree. I agree there, because I think that when black people at school said that I talked white, and especially with a British accent, it's even more like white. It was always more, like you said, it's kind of just like, we're in the community together. I feel like when the white people would say stuff, it was like the true attack. The girl doing oversharing in this modern world, the girl that I lost my virginity to, white girl, and a few weeks after, she was asking my friend about me, and she was like, does he consider himself white or black? And then my friend was like, he's black. And she's like, oh, that's a shame, because I'd only date a white guy, but at least I can tick a black guy off my list. And that's like my first ever like real sexual experience, when it was the black women in dating saying,
full stop, y'all, full stop. Oh God, oh my God. That just, wow, that just knocked me off my feet. Imagine, like literally imagine like your first time and that's what somebody says. Oh my God, no, and that's what somebody says about you, like no. Okay, all right.
you talk white, you're too middle class, whatever it is, then that was just like, okay, yeah, just we are different parts of the same community. When white women and other partners who would be like, you're not meeting my dad, because he would never let me date a black guy, that felt like way more cutting.
In a sense, it's a fetish. And we have to be careful about that, because as a black woman, you're a black man, I'm around black men. You're not a fetish for me, because you are a part of my community. And so I disagree with for myself, my experiences, the black community has fully supported me. But I think when you expand outside of your, right in your face community, you'll realize that there are a lot of black women that are just rooting for black women because they're black. I mean, we can think about the election.
Yeah, I can definitely say environment, because when I lived in Atlanta, it was nothing but like black support, black love, everybody's helping each other. You don't see too many black men with white women there.
I carry my parents' relationship patterns.
Also, in general, like about the whole like black support thing and I think the problem is social media. I'm at it again, y'all. But seriously, like social media is like convincing us that like things are this way and like black men and black women hate each other and blah blah blah. But like majority of black people are still literally married to black people. Like you can look it up, it's true. But social media just projects this like, oh, black men only like white women and black women are tired of black men. Like that's not the reality. There's still a lot going on. There's still so much connection. There's still so much love. So don't forget about the love, girl.
relationship. But I do tell him often that my mom and my dad never married, and so marriage is not my top priority. Although I want to be married, it's not the end all be all. I think that some people are raised and they've seen their parents married, like I have to be married. I don't feel that way. And I do believe in healthy co-parenting. My parents were healthy co-parents where they thought they were brother and sister. So I do believe that if our relationship ends, I would be okay. I am open to being a co-parent.
So I'm in the middle with this one actually, but I was leaning more towards agree with the statement. I definitely learned unhealthy relationship habits from my parents, and they're actually the model. Hi, Mom and Dad. The model of a relationship that I am trying to avoid, and they're the reason why I know, like, your partner is sorry.
That's funny.
After seeing how my parents' relationship was, I learned your partner is the number one choice, life-altering choice you can make in your life.
Absolutely.
I think mine is pretty much exactly that. I'm learning because my parents, their relationship was at a very loud volume, and it was a lot of aggression, passive aggression. Like I got to see them like fall out of love to lead to their divorce. Talking about inheriting patterns, I always have expected that every single relationship will at some point die, and just you will never speak to that person again. So I think I've been just inherited all of those patterns, like you, trying to unlearn them now. But that was like my whole childhood.
We might be half brother and sister. Don't go on Ancestry DNA.
I don't remember all the circumstances in which my parents got divorced. I don't remember. I know some of it, but I was pretty young back then. But what I do know is how much the divorce impacted me just growing up and not having my dad in the house for years. Like I follow the relationship model insofar as that I want to get married at some point. But after seeing how that happened, how that impacted me, that's why I view marriage so important and never want my kids to have to experience that. Like I want it to be in my child's life as much as humanly possible.
I definitely agree with what you're
If you see your parents be super toxic, it's super easy to mime that, and that definitely does become your normal. But I feel like a lot of people in our generation are trying to heal that and are like kind of pumping the brakes on like just having kids and getting married and just being like, let me get myself together first. Let me like make sure that I'm like not continuing these toxic cycles. And I feel like that's going to be so beneficial for our children. So keep doing what you're doing if you're doing it.
saying. So I know that it may have came off like, oh, we could be a co-parent today, but I don't feel that way. I just feel like most times when people get in these relationships and they have children out of wedlock, or they're married and they get a divorce, it's the end of the world. They don't want to work towards something better. They don't want to work for the betterment of the child. And so for me, that is the inherent view that I have, that the child is important. You have to put whatever you have aside and make sure that child is in the forefront. It can't be the end of the world for you. You can't hate this person because you created something so beautiful with them. But I do want to be married. I would love to marry my partner in this sense. But I think that my mom, this is something that I'm unlearning. My mom is the black woman. I don't need a man. I pay the bills in here. But my dad would help regardless. He could have a woman, he could have a girlfriend, but he would help towards the household. He would help her if she needed anything. He was her first call. And so I think the way I view dating is that.
My mom left her whole family for men over and over again. So she put a man above all else. That's kind of how I carried myself. And primary, like the first relationships I had, I fully poured into them, not myself, because I was like, well, they're gonna take care of me. That's what my mom's doing.
Right. But I also want to know, why does the black community not hold marriage to like a high standard?
We do.
Girl, because I feel like you can have your thoughts about marriage. Obviously, it's your life at the end of the day, but I just will never really understand how the concept of having a child is not like a million times a bigger commitment than marriage. Like, that's just always been my thing. Yes, I wanna settle down, I wanna get married, whoop de whoop de woo, but like, I see having a child as a million times more intimidating and a million times more of a sacrifice and like the the tallest trust fall that you're having with someone versus marriage. Like, marriage to a child is nothing to me. If you're talking about that little ring, let's get that little ring. Let me put that little ring on, and what? Like, having a child, I just can't compute like that not being earth-shattering versus marriage. But that's just me, and that's more so my perception as to why, like, I don't see the point of having a child before marriage. But that's just me.
When we had the most discrimination, racism, and when times were the worst for us back in the civil rights era, we were getting married at a much higher rate and staying together than we are now. And so that's why I was asking, like, how did it happen that from 50s and 60s we ended up here to where things are regressing when things should be theoretically getting better because there's more access now?
I think back in those times, it was a necessity. As a woman, being married was almost close to a necessity because of all the things you couldn't do as a woman. I think that's why we have digressed in a sense, and I think that it should be held valuable, but it will never be the necessity that it once was.
Can I disagree? Step forward.
That's such a great argument. Like, I just have to go back to that because she actually ate. Like, marriage will never be the necessity to women that it once was because we have, like, rights now. So, so that makes a lot of sense as to why, like, those numbers are very, very different. That's tea, y'all. That's tea. Clock it.
Growing up, I have had other father figures, and I'd say even throughout those relationships, my mom has been consistent, and she's always been very mindful of who she introduced to me. My mom never argued with anyone in front of me. She never had any disputes. So everything to me in the eyes of a child was perfect. And I feel like that is a very key and beautiful thing that a lot of people need to keep in mind and maintain.
I think that what we're missing within the Black community is spaces like this. And so now they've created this space, and now this is on the TV of those who want to watch it. So it's up to us to advertise it.
All of our energy should be focused on going towards what our goal is as a community.
Right.
And then all the other extra stuff should just get put to the wayside for a second so we can figure out where it is we want to be and get there together. I think that's kind of what we need to do. And having these conversations is how we figure out what those priorities are.
And there's people that's doing that, but unfortunately, this is just not popular. We got to stop highlighting the negativity, or we see something good that's happening in the Black community. Let's share, let's, spread the message, not just spew hatred.
Yeah, Super Cupid, my final words are to just be compassionate and try to understand people instead of being angry at people. Because that way, whether you decide to move forward with that or not, like, you can breathe, you can be calmer, like you're not mad at a demographic. And yes.